Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tune. Today I'm working on my Honda Grom. This bike has a CBR 250 engine swapped into it that I did the big valve head from Robert Farnham, and I did his stage 2 camshafts, or stage 3, I can't remember, I got the big ones. And we tuned this with the Steady Garage big bore kit, which is a little higher compression and a little bigger bore diameter. We tuned this bike and ended up making around 41 horsepower consistently on E85. We tuned it on nitro fuel as well, but ran out of fuel system. I do have a Walbro 255 fuel pump inside the stock Grom tank running out to a regulator. I don't have a lot of the stuff hooked up right now, but this is the fuel line, goes over to a regulator that sits right here, and then I have a return line bung welded into the tank here so the fuel can return back in. And I have a lot of my fuel system stuff up here. This is the throttle body. I just have a lot of this removed because I'm doing a finally put a turbo on one of these bikes, and I'm gonna try and see how it'll do on this thing. It's already pretty fast on motor. I think it went like in the 8s in the 8th mile, and it will easily do triple-digit speeds like effortlessly. So it's already pretty fast, but I want to have a turbo bike. So I bought this KO3. This is like an eBay KO3 turbo, and I got the flanges from eBay. Flange that goes on the downpipe, and then the flange that goes into the turbo here. There's one of the flanges for the downpipe. And then I got a flange for the motor from a guy on Facebook named Mike as well. So Mike McNally on Facebook actually got flanges he made for the CBR head. So I bought one of those flanges, and then I went on, I think just Amazon, and I ordered some 1.5" exhaust piping, and it came as a U and then a 90 on the other end. So I had a few different bends to work with. And this is kind of what I've come up with so far. This is the pipe I'm going to finish weld. I kind of put it on the bike and tacked some stuff in place. The welds are shitty right now. I'm gonna try to clean that up. This is the motor side, obviously, and then it U's, and then the turbo side over here. And I'm thinking the turbo is gonna sit on this side because I like the fitment of it over here, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. This is my oil feed line. I'm going to have coming from the oil filter housing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drill and tap this to 1/8 inch pipe to 4 AN, and then I'm gonna have this 90 end go onto there like that. So that's where I'm gonna get my oil feed supply from. I don't know if it's gonna be enough oil feed or how much pressure this motor even makes, but I'm hoping it's enough. If it's not, we'll have to go to a standalone oiling system. I know the Grom doesn't really put out enough, like the Grom-based engine doesn't really put out enough oil pressure to reliably lubricate a turbo. John Hendrick, or Hedrick, I can't pronounce his last name, or don't know how to. He did a turbocharged Grom engine, and he had to do the standalone oiling system. So I'm gonna try it with the CBR motor and see if it will, you know, kill a turbo or not, or how much pressure is going to be coming out of here. And then on this side, when the turbo's over here, I can drain the oil right back into the flywheel cover here and hopefully be above the level of oil in the motor when it's running. So I'm going to tap this as well to run my drain into. But first things first, I'm going to get this thing all finished welded and I'm bolt it back onto the bike here. And then I'm going to explain what I'm thinking for intercooler piping, and we'll go from there. And hopefully this thing will be really cool when it's all finished up. Alrighty, so I got my hot side to the turbo all welded up, and I'm gonna bolt it onto the motor here, and I'm gonna show you what the turbo placement is looking like. Christine came out here earlier and kind of helped me hold the turbo, and I held the pipe and kind of just eyeballed stuff to get it where I wanted, and I'm pretty happy with the placement so far. So I'm gonna get this guy all bolted on, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Alrighty guys, so I got the turbo bolted on with this one bolt. I don't have any bolts that fit this, so I gotta run and get some proper hardware, but I do have one bolt in there, and kind of eyeballed the other holes where the other bolts are gonna go. So I'm just kind of clocking stuff where I think it's gonna want to go. Alright, so like I said, I'm pretty happy with this placement. There's clearance here for the radiator hose. I'm going to have to mount the radiator slightly higher, I think, than it was before, but that should not be an issue. I'll just drill new holes in these little brackets here, and I might scoot the radiator over slightly to the left, this way, just so the turbo can get fresh air, not directly off the radiator. And my panels will fit on the bike with the turbo right here, and I'll still be able to run my drain line off of here and run it into there. So that's kind of my reasoning for going this spot. And another reason is because you can see where the turbo outlet is here. I can run a pipe through here, I'm hoping, or run it down and under or something to come over to the other side where my throttle body is located. So I have a coupler that I'll run out of here, and then hopefully build like a plenum or something right here, and then put a blow-off valve on the top of it. And then my oil feed line hopefully go right there. So this is kind of the rough mock-up for now. I don't know if there's really any other spot that I could run it and still use the bike's natural oiling system to oil the turbo. If I mounted the turbo any lower than this, I wouldn't be able to efficiently put oil back into the motor. It would back oil back into the turbo, so that probably wouldn't work that good. I know some guys will run the turbo just directly off of the motor like this, and the turbo would be down here, but then I for surely have to get a scavenge pump or something to pump the oil out of the turbo and back into the canister if I had a separate oiling system. And I hopefully will be getting some rear sets soon, so hopefully the foot pegs will be a little bit farther back and I can run a downpipe just like that. So that's kind of the plan right now. If I probably could just put a real sharp 90 on this and it would be okay. I don't think I would burn my feet or anything. If the pipe was just coming down like here-ish, I think I'll still be able to put my foot here and not burn the shit out of my leg. But like I said, I plan on getting some rear sets for this bike, so the foot pegs will be farther back, because when I was drag racing it previously with the stock foot pegs and rear sets here, I definitely would have been happier launching the bike. You kind of want to lay on the tank, and laying on the tank with your feet farther back is definitely a better way to do it than to have your feet, like my knees were almost like in my gut when I was launching it with the stock rear sets. So yeah, I'm gonna throw the panel on real quick, and I'm gonna show you there might be some minor trimming that I'm gonna have to do, but all the fuel system stuff fits nicely up here and should be tucked away from the heat and stuff. I might get a turbo blanket for this thing, if they even make a turbo blanket for this little KO3. And then hopefully I'll still be able to mount the wastegate actuator on over here. If not, I'm gonna weld it shut, and we'll just put a little baby external gate off of here somewhere. I even thought about running the turbo on the opposite side of the bike and then turning my intake elbow, this little billet piece, This guy right here is where the injector sits and stuff like that. It's got this little notch out for the frame. I was thinking of running it the opposite way, because currently it sits in here just like that. And it fits nicely. If I were to turn it around, it would not fit as good. It would still fit, but it just wouldn't fit as good. Actually, now doing this the second time, it seems like it would fit okay. And then I could have ran the plenum and stuff on the left side, but I don't think it really matters what side the turbo's on. It's not centered, so yeah. Alright guys, so I got the bodywork kind of trimmed out a little bit down here to fit the compressor housing, and I did cut out this section here. It'd probably be better anyway because my regulator was bulging the plastics before, but yeah, pretty stoked with how this is turning out. I think the turbo placement's going to be as good as it's going to get for now. I would ideally, and I think it looks a lot better, and I think it would be pretty cool if the turbo was like that, because then my bodywork would fit even better on the bike and a turbo inlet would not get blocked from the plastics on the bike. The only issue with running the turbo how it is, how you see it here, is my exhaust, yeah, it wouldn't really fit because of the motor here. So I guess I could always maybe lengthen this section of the hot side and bring the turbo out a little bit. That way we could clear the exhaust and have the compressor kind of outside of the bodywork. I'm going to try to position it as far in as I feel comfortable. Maybe something like how it is right there. Maybe right there even. I think right there even is pretty good. Let's see if we can fit a downpipe now. Ooh, it'd be tight. It would be tight, but I think we could probably do it. Maybe we'll end up doing this, and I'll end up just kind of cutting this back off and reclocking the flange here to put the turbo like this, because I think that's going to look freaking sweet. Let me know what you guys think of this little project. This is going to be part one of the Turbo Grom. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to just try and make it work. I think it'll be really fun, and I'm hoping it'll make some pretty decent power. Considering this thing made 40 horsepower on motor, I'm hoping we can at least get to 50 or 60. But who knows, it might even do more than that. We'll find out. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and have a great night and a better tomorrow. Check out some of my other videos on the channel, and we'll see you later.